Is the Lakers front office about to make the most controversial move of the season? Or are they finally showing the championship desperation we've been waiting for? What's up, Lakers Nation? The trade rumors are heating up again, and this time it's hitting different. We're talking about a potential blockbuster that could bring back a familiar face while sending away one of our most reliable role players. Buckle up, because this one got layers that'll make your head spin. So here's the deal that's got everyone talking in NBA circles. According to reports from Fadeaway World, there's a trade proposal floating around that would reunite the Lakers with none other than Malik Monk. Yes, that Malik Monk, the same electric scorer who left us hanging when he chose Sacramento's money over our championship culture back in 2022. The proposed trade would send Rui Hachimura, along with our 2031 first-round pick and 2032 second-round pick, straight to the Kings in exchange for Monk's services. Now, before you start throwing your purple and gold jerseys at the wall, let's break down the numbers because they actually make sense on paper. Monk is currently in year 2 of a 4-year, $78 million deal, earning $18. $7 million this season, while Hachimura is pulling in $18. $2 million. From a salary cap perspective, this trade works cleaner than a Magic Johnson no-look pass. But here's where it gets interesting and potentially messy. The financial mechanics are straightforward, but the basketball implications? That's where things get spicy. Monk brings something to the table that we've been missing all season. That explosive, heat-check scoring ability that can single-handedly shift momentum in crunch time. We're talking about a player who can go nuclear for 5-minute stretches and completely flip the script on opposing defenses. When he's locked in, Monk doesn't just score. He demoralizes teams with his range and shot creation ability. Picture the scenario. Fourth quarter, playoffs. LeBron's on the bench catching his breath. And we need someone to carry the offensive load. AD can dominate the paint. But sometimes you need that perimeter assassin who can pull up from 30 feet and make it look routine. That's Monk's superpower. And it's exactly the type of weapon that could push us over the edge in those grueling playoff battles. But hold up. Let's pump the brakes for a second. Our backcourt is already more crowded than the 405 during rush hour. We got Austin Reeves establishing himself as a legitimate starter, D'Angelo Russell running the second unit when he's not in trade rumors himself, Gabe Vincent trying to stay healthy, and let's not forget about Bronny James, who's still developing but represents the future. Adding Monk to this mix creates a fascinating but potentially problematic logjam. Here's where Rob Pelinka's chess master mentality comes into play. This isn't just about adding talent. It's about roster construction and long-term vision. Monk isn't just a rental player. His contract runs to the 2027-28 season, which means we're not talking about a short-term fix. We're talking about a multi-year commitment that could fundamentally alter our salary cap flexibility. And that flexibility? It's more valuable than Kobe's final game jersey right now. The Lakers currently have $111 million in expiring contracts next summer, positioning us perfectly for the 2026 free agency bonanza. We're talking about potential access to the cream of the crop, players who could transform this franchise for the next decade. But taking on Monk's deal would significantly reduce that financial flexibility unless it performs at an all-star level consistently. Now, let's talk about what Sacramento is thinking, because this trade only works if both sides benefit. The Kings have been trying to move Monk since last season, reportedly attempting to package him to Golden State for Jonathan Kuminga before that deal fell through. They're looking at a player who, despite his talent, might not fit their long-term vision or timeline. Enter Rui Hachimura, and suddenly the Kings' perspective shifts. Hachimura brings exactly what every contending team craves: versatility, efficiency, and the ability to impact winning without demanding the spotlight. His recent numbers don't lie. Solid shooting percentages, improved defense, and the kind of steady professionalism that championship teams are built on. For Sacramento, acquiring Hachimura along with future draft capital represents both immediate help and long-term asset accumulation. But here's the million-dollar question that's keeping Lakers fans up at night. Is this the right move for our championship window? LeBron isn't getting any younger, and every season feels more precious than the last. AD is in his prime, but we all know how quickly championship windows can slam shut in this league. Do we prioritize the immediate impact of Monk's scoring punch, Or do we maintain our financial flexibility for the bigger fish swimming in free agency waters? The case for making this trade is compelling. Monk averaged over 15 points per game during his Lakers stint, and his chemistry with LeBron was undeniable. He understands our system, knows the pressure of playing in Los Angeles, and most importantly, he's got that clutch gene that shows up when the lights are brightest. In a playoff series, having that sixth man who can explode for 25 points off the bench could be the difference between another early exit and a deep playoff run. The case against it? Well, that's where things get complicated. Hachimura has been our most consistent role player this season, providing exactly the type of two-way impact that championship teams need. He doesn't demand touches, plays within the system, and brings a defensive versatility that allows us to switch multiple positions. Trading him away for a player who might duplicate what we already have in our backcourt feels like robbing Peter to pay Paul. There's also the elephant in the room, our defensive identity. Monk, for all his offensive brilliance, has never been confused with Gary Payton on the defensive end. In a Western Conference loaded with elite guards and wing scorers, can we afford to add another defensive liability to our rotation? The playoffs are won with defense, and giving up a solid two-way player like Hachimura for an offensive specialist feels risky. The timing of this potential trade also raises eyebrows. We're currently sitting in a competitive playoff position, and major roster changes this late in the season can disrupt chemistry and continuity. Players have established roles, rotations are set, and team chemistry is finally starting to gel. Is it worth disrupting that for a player who'll need time to reintegrate into our system? But maybe that's exactly the type of bold move that separates championship teams from playoff pretenders. The best front offices in the league aren't afraid to make uncomfortable decisions when they see an opportunity to upgrade their roster. If Pelinka believes that Monk's offensive firepower gives us a better chance to compete with Denver, Boston, or Phoenix in a 7-game series, then sentiment about roster continuity becomes irrelevant. This trade ultimately comes down to one fundamental question. What version of the Lakers gives us the best chance to win a championship in the next 2 years? Is it the current roster with its defensive versatility and financial flexibility? Or is it a retooled lineup featuring Monk's explosive scoring alongside our established stars? The answer might depend on how you view our current championship odds. If you believe we're already good enough to compete with anyone when healthy, then maintaining our flexibility makes sense. But if you think we need that extra offensive weapon to put us over the top, then Monk becomes an attractive option despite the potential drawbacks. What do you think, Lakers Nation? Is bringing back Malik Monk worth giving up Rui Hachimura and our future draft capital? Are we making a championship push or mortgaging our future for a player who might not move the needle enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button if you're as conflicted about this potential trade as we are. This is a type of decision that could define our next championship window. So let's hear where you stand.